So today's topic, suicide are preventable, changing the narrative on suicide. I am very much thankful to Divya Karuna organization for giving me an opportunity to speak on this topic. Why I have chosen this topic, there are some reasons. I believe suicide is a burning problem and it is the need of the hour to address it urgently. Every day in newspaper we can read, okay, without news of suicide, I think no day is passing. So when I read news about the suicide of the students, especially, definitely I think it gives me an immense pain. So I have made my life goal to prevent suicide cases in students. I want to raise awareness and sensitize people regarding this problem. I have been awarded a gold medal for a memorial lecture on this topic by Department of Psychology, SP University, Vallabh Gujarat. I organized on 23rd and 24th February 2014 a successful intervention conference on applying psychology for suicide prevention. Theme was I want to live, I want to save. So this would be agenda. I will try to finish. I think we are late, but I will try to finish taking into consideration the time this agenda from introduction to conclusion. So History of Suicide Prevention Day in 2003 by the International Association for Suicide Prevention in collaboration with WHO started World Suicide Prevention Day observed every year on 10th September. This event represents a global commitment to focus attention on suicide prevention. So this can be achieved only by promoting stakeholders to collaborate and coordinate in preventing suicide across the globe. You can see WHO has given theme for 3 years, and the name of the theme is change the narrative. So this is the triennial theme for World Suicide Prevention Day for 2014 to 2026. Now 2025 is going on. So for 3 years, we are trying changing the narrative on suicide with call to action, start the conversations. So this is the official theme for the World Mental Health Day 2025. On 10th October, just 2 days back, we have celebrated World Mental Health Day. And the theme you can see access to services, mental health in catastrophes and emergencies. Now, suicidal ideation or development of suicidal ideation is also an emergency, and if it cannot be prevented, definitely it will lead to catastrophe. So, the mental health theme, World Mental Health theme of this year, and Suicide Prevention Day themes both are connected to each other. My topic is suicide prevention, so I will not talk about the mental health. This is the global scenario. You can see the cases of suicides rate across the world that is available online. I will not discuss that. But these are the key facts. More than 7 lakhs 20,000 people die due to suicide every year. And now we are talking about Generation Z. So you can see Generation Z is very much vulnerable and prone for, I think, this type of burning problem that is suicide. 15 to 20 years old, the maximum. And the suicide is the third leading cause of the death uh, among this category or range of the age 15 to 29. So the reasons for suicide are multifaceted, influenced by social, cultural, biological, psychological, and environmental factors present across the life course. I have this data available up to 22. You can see from 2015, the rate of suicide per lakh 10.6. Now, every year it is increasing, and 2022 we can see 12.4. Now 2025 it may be, I think, very high. So these are the men and women comparison. In male 1,18,979 and female 45,026. So India's suicide rate of 14.04 per lakh population in 2019 put it at 49th rank globally. So this is our Gujarat. I am coming from Gujarat. So here it is, I think, also rate is very high. At 25,478 people died by suicide in Gujarat in last 3 years. And India's student suicide rate has surpassed overall trend. Now more students than farmers are dying by suicide in India. So what's behind the alarming rise? That is, I think, as a mental health professional, as a stakeholder, as a teacher, as counselor, as a psychotherapist, definitely it is our role and responsibility to think about this burning issue. So suicide, not only the in BA and BCom or BSc students, uh, definitely it is a very serious issue. Those who are highly qualified and very intellectual people, students especially IITs, NITs, IIMs. I always say that doctors have been sent by God to save the lives of the people. And when the doctors will commit suicide, then what will happen to ordinary people? Now the rate of suicide is also very high in IS, IPS, MD, MS doctors, and those who are pursuing this high uh, degree, I think, in different institutions. Definitely, it is a matter of great concerns. This pie chart you can see in different category the rate of suicide. So death by suicide in India, I will not discuss, but every minute one suicide is there, average in India. So I always ask to students and those who are connected to this field. Generally, we think about the other factors or causes for committing suicide. It may be economical, emotional, personal, or psychological. But in the context of suicide, I always ask the questions that which is the most difficult task in our life? Which is the most difficult task in our life? The answer is to kill oneself. So next questions is that when do people kill themselves? If you observe, small child, even small ant to huge elephant, there is, natural instinct. No one wants to die. Then what happens to these people? Okay, they kill themselves. I have analyzed, and this is my observations. For a moment, desire of living life disappears, and that very moment, person commits suicide. Now, questions is that the point is that if you want to save people, those who have developed suicidal ideations or those who have survived after attempting committing suicide, only one thing I think for preventing suicide, there are many techniques we will discuss later on, but only one thing is that we have to do, we have to give them desire of living life, and that is the meaning. Once a person loses meaning to live the life, definitely it seems very difficult to go ahead in the journey of life, and they take the extreme decision to commit a suicide. So this is definitions, not the text definitions, but uh, definitions in other sense. Suicide is one of the misunderstood phenomenon, an under investigated list. Misunderstood phenomena in the sense laymen or ordinary peoples mostly when they read such type of news in the newspaper or they will come across to this type of incidents, definitely they will comment that he or she is a coward or suicide is a sin. Okay, so actually, when even there is a FIR in police station, hardly investigation is going on for a longer period of time, and just 2 3 days, uh, okay, people will remember, they will forget. Types of suicide I will not discuss in the detail, but these are the classification of types of suicide. Four types of suicide: egoistic suicide, that is because of the absence of social integration. Altruistic suicide, you must have heard about the suicide bombers, that they sacrifice their lives for religion, country, or community. That is the altruistic suicide. Anomic suicide, because of the lack of social regulation that occurs during high levels of stress and frustration. Fatalistic suicide, individuals are placed under extreme rules or high expectations, especially for the students. Okay, academic pressure, parents' expectations, and rules and regulations. Even employees at workplace, at job place, then they are under stress. Section 309 of the Indian Penal Code, earlier it was a crime. Now, what is the importance of research in such field as a psychologist? After research, it has been decriminalized. The reason or rationale behind decriminalization was that person is in stress, try or attempts to commit suicide, and fortunately, unfortunately survive, and you punish them or him or her, then it is not fair. And that's why when person is in stress, now an attempt to commit suicide is no more a crime. Under Mental Health Care Act 2017 came into existence in 2017. It says that when the person is in severe stress, shall not be treated and punished under the said code. So you go through these two acts, then definitely you will get the rationale behind decriminalization of this act. And this is the Health Care Act 2017 aims at decriminalizing the attempt to commit suicide by seeking to ensure that the individuals who have attempted suicide are offered opportunity for rehabilitations from the government as opposed to being tried or punished for the attempt. I think Karuna organizations definitely doing good work in this field for rehabilitation counseling. Bharat Nyaya Sanhita is the, I think, new name of the Indian Penal Code, also decriminalized this act to commit suicide. But there is one condition, that if you will commit suicide, the attempt to commit suicide to compel or restrain the exercise of lawful power, then it is a crime. So this is a legal language point of view. This is very important when we are going to talk about the narratives, change the narrative on suicide prevention. We have to know about the myths. The myths are nothing but the narratives. So we have to aware the people about the myths, and we have to make them aware about the truths so that we can prevent this type of suicide cases. So number one is people who talk about suicide don't attempt or die by suicide. Actually, this is a myth. Now, in the age of the social media, definitely they send this type of messages. Now, I want to die. Life is hopeless. I wish I die instead of continuing with such life. I have also read newspaper that sometimes People are doing suicide, live suicide on Facebook or Instagram. So this type of messages, if you come across, take it seriously. Most people don't reveal they are suicidal or have emotional problem for which they need help. Actually, before committing suicide, they give the signals, and that is the red flag signs. So definitely, they have emotional problem, and they reveal in the form of the signals. So those who are psychologists or having psychological background or those who are aware, definitely they will identify these warning signs and will try to save lives of many people, especially the for parents, children's, for teachers, students' lives are very important, and they have to be trained to identify this type of warning signs or red signals. Taking to teens about suicide leads to increased suicidal ideation. That is very wrong. They need there should be someone, especially parent, to listen to them. So definitely they are looking for emotional psychological support from parents. So definitely we'll talk with them. We are definitely we can stop or prevent some consequences like suicide in students and teachers, children. Most people who attempt suicide fully intend to die. No, no one wants to die. Most suicidal adolescents don't want suicide to happen. They only want a better life. Teens typically try to find a permanent solution to their temporary problem. Uh, my theme was, my conference was, I want to live, I want to save. So these people, they want to live. On the other side, counselor are there, they want to save. But there is a gap between these victims, I think, those who have developed suicidal ideations and counselors or psychotherapists. And there is a, I think, a need to bridge the gap between those who are sufferers and counselor or psychotherapist to prevent the suicide. So the people whose family members committed suicide, definitely it is a myth. There are more chances if such type of incidents happen in family, there are more chances other members can commit suicide. You can see suicide can never happen in family like ours. Suicide happens only in certain social groups. Now celebrities from Guru Dutt to Sushant Singh and many heroines, many builders, many businessmen, even they are rich name and fame, then what was the need to commit suicide? So suicide or death doesn't, do discriminations. I think definitely that means money has nothing to do with the happiness. There is not a significant difference between male and female regarding suicidal behavior. There is a difference between male and females. You can see the graph, but attempts and suicidal ideations is more in female compared to male. But suicide death is more in males compared to female. I think it is also research topic because male are, from the very beginning, from childhood, boys are brought up that you are not to cry, you are not to express your emotion publicly. Okay, मर्द को कभी दर्द नहीं होता है. So, but definitely female can express, they don't bottle up their emotions. So these are, some myths. When there is a need, definitely there is nothing wrong to express emotions to, I think, at least if we have some close friends. Because female death rate is low, their suicidal attempts should not be taken seriously. That is also myth. Nearly 50% of suicidal death cases have previous history attempt. Suicidal attempt is done by only mentally sick people. Normal people, especially, I think, those students have, fear of failure or pressure of academic pressure, sexual abuse and substance abuse victims, peer exploitations, family problems. so on and so forth. Definitely, they also commit suicide. Those who have attempted suicide keep on thinking of the same, nothing help them. Proper treatment, counseling, lifestyle changes can surely help such people, but long term management, family parental love and support, and continuous medical supervision can help. That is the truth. Sometimes there may be side effects of some medicines, antidepressant. So the person stop talking about suicide, but it suggests that, or it doesn't mean that will not commit suicide. Parents are always aware of the suicide ideation. This is, I think, unfortunately, it is a gloomy picture, or we can say, okay, parents are not aware in most of the cases. And when parents, they don't have time to talk with their children, in many cases we can see they are not aware. When both are working and they don't spare time with their children. Parents, related teachers, anybody can counsel the adolescents with suicide ideation. Now, just for earning purpose, even you don't have Rehabilitation Council of India license, you cannot practice. But now we can see many, I think even you have degree of psychology, you would start practicing. But this is not good. Okay, like homeopathy and Ayurvedic cannot do allopathy practice. Like those who don't have RCI license, they don't do clinical practice. They can be counselor if they are MAs or PhD in psychology. Some people do self harm just to seek attention. That is always wrong. This type of self harm to be taken into consideration seriously. These are the warning signs of suicide. They talk their feelings and behavior. You can see they will talk. They will kill themselves. They feel depression and anxiety and behavior. Also, they have some eating problems and sleeping problem. Also, they withdraw from the activities looking for warning signs. These all are long list. Major life events, crises, previous suicidal attempts, expressing suicidal thoughts. Warning signs we have already discussed in myths, so I will not discuss in the detail. So coming to the point, the theme identified for 2024-26, changing the narrative on suicide. So these are the narratives already I have discussed in myths, but just see on the screen, go through all these myths on the left side and what how we can change narrative on the right side points. You go through the suicide narrative is threat for fulfilling demand. That is a narrative. Wrong. Cry for help. Actually, it is a cry for help. No can stop. Is narrative. Yes, it can be stopped. So discussing increases gives an opportunity to intervene. Silence to discussing openly, stigmatizing, empowering. Still, it is a stigma for physical problems. Definitely, we rush to specialist or physician. But for mental illness, still, I think there is a need. And that's why we are doing all these conferences and seminars. We have to keep organizing this type of workshop seminars so that we can generate or create awareness among the people. Okay, these are all narratives. Stigma is still there, but we have not to stop our efforts. Definitely, we will get success. So, it is not weakness, call for help. Okay, like physical problem, it is not weakness. Mental illness is also not a problem. No one can stop, can be prevented. It is a taboo. Now it has not been taboo. Public health issue now. So change mental health issue, economic issue, complex socio problem. Speaking person will never do it. Cry for help. We have not to do advice, but we have to listen to them. So I think side problem. This is a suicide risk model. I will not discuss into detail. Risk factors also you can see previous suicide attempts, sexual abuse, mental torture, feeling of isolation, cyberbullying, faulty parenting. I think on the top, I think relationship is now relationship crisis is on the top. Because of the relationship crisis, it will lead to mental health issues, and that's why mental health issues is number one on the list for cause as a risk factor in committing suicide. So list is very long. We can discuss all these sexual orientation sometime when we are talking about LGBTQ, school related, study related problem. These all you know. Now, in real sense, how we can prevent, that is the matter. So this is the protective factors and parents' point of view. I think do's and don'ts are there. The do's are identify the warning signals, listen to them, be direct, be honest, know your limits, make sure at each step the teen is aware what is going on, inform parents. And don't challenge teen, don't act shocked, don't rush or behave impatiently with the child, don't panic, don't be judgmental, is also very important. They want your validations actually, not to be judged. So, suicide is a multifaceted problem, and hence suicide prevention programs should also be multidimensional. Now, what the Karuna organization is doing, collaborations, coordination, cooperation, commitment. So these four C's definitely are very important. We can discuss in the detail to prevent this type of, I think, preventive measures we can take for suicide preventions. Holistic resilience model, no health is health without mental health. But also other, when we are talking about resilience, you have to be spiritually healthy, you have to be mentally healthy, you have to be socially healthy, you have to be emotionally healthy and physically healthy. Then definitely you are resilient. I think how to develop resilience, a special topic I think should be there for discussion. And Karuna organization point of view, they are doing very good work in spiritual counseling, I think. So this is a Nebuchadnezzar prayer. I think I always like very close to my heart. And preventions of suicide definitely would be possible if you will understand or you will make them people understand these four lines. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Something we cannot change. For that, please give me serenity. Courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Problem is that the things which we cannot change, we try to change, and the things which we can change, we are not trying to change. And that's why this type of problems take place. And definitely, spiritual counseling, the counselor definitely develop wisdom in people, and that is the best counseling according to me. So, who can play very important role for suicide preventions? Individual can do. So ask, if you observe some people, those who have you think have developed suicidal ideations. Are you thinking about killing yourself? Keep them safe. Then be there with them. You can also help them some giving contact number and stay connected. So check in with loved ones. Keep informed. Share your story. So on part of individuals, these are some measures. Timely referral is also important. These are some helplines. Role of psychologist, definitely there are many techniques. CBT, REBT, DBT. Okay, I cannot discuss in the detail, but mostly the most of the problems are taking place because of our distorted thoughts or irrational thoughts. That our belief system, our software, the programming to be changed, to change the perception and to give them the meaning to live the life. Because people they have some wrong beliefs, and that's why according to their belief they live their life. So there is a need to make them aware that what is the fact, what is the truth. And once they will get the meaning, definitely they will get the meaning to live or purpose to live the life. So therapist also can do the or play a very important role. These are suicidal scales, standardized, reliable, and valid. You can measure those who are doing research. Columbia Suicide Severity Rating Scale, Back Suicide Intent Scales. I will definitely send if you are in requirement. Parenting style, parents role of parents is very important, especially in psychology. There are four parenting style. I will not discuss in detail, but the best parenting style or to make your child mentally healthy, authoritative parenting style is good. Your parents who are authoritative, not authoritarian, established, or keep balance between control and love, warmth. So they are not over disciplined here or not overprotected. They don't overprotect or they don't do over discipline for the children. So such children, when they, upbringing, after upbringing, they become mentally healthy. So when we are talking about to build mentally healthy society, we have to produce mentally healthy citizens, and for that we have to start from the beginning, from childhood. Then one upon a time, I think in future, after some time, definitely we can see mentally healthy society. So this is all by enabling development of empathy and compassion. Compassion is the, I think, English name of the karuna. Okay, so you are doing very good work in them through counseling service or spiritual practices. Role of teacher actually can, I think, role teacher role is very important. They should be accessible, approachable, and available. But we just teach, we don't talk with them. Okay, not teaching but talking is very important. So they need your attention, appreciation, and affections. Communities also can do some organizing some event, provide resources, create safe spaces. I have organized this international conference last time. So I organized conference 2 years back. Now Supreme Court has suggested, okay, UGC, for collecting data from the student. Okay, that we, I think next slide I will discuss for organizations, training and educations, training sessions for employees, such as flexible working hours, flexible working management, fundamental health organizations. Now the Minister of Education also recently released a draft of guidelines called UMID. I think hardly schools is following or organizing such programs. I think understand, motivate, manage, empathize, empower, develop to prevent student suicide in school. UMID is a, I think, abbreviations. I think so. Still, I think we are waiting from the schools. There is a need, according to NEP 2020, to appoint a counselor in schools, in each and every schools. So in with guidelines you go through, there should be one, school wellness team. Principal should be a chairperson or of the team. And in crisis situation, definitely the need for immediate response or conducting orientation, necessary actions to be taken immediately. So in school also, what I was talking about the National Task Force, August 2025, it has been posted National Task Force on Student Mental Health and Suicide. I think you must be aware. Okay, the questionnaire in Hindi and English under the chairmanship of former Justice. Okay, this for higher education institutions, parents of such student, faculty members, mental health services. Okay, they have to respond about some questions so that this national task force can identify students have, because of the rate of suicide is increasing day by day, and that's why government is also okay, doing, I think, this type of taking initiative. Now, that is very important. And if you want to go into the detail, some question is English and Hindi, and item or questions related to campus environment, inclusivity and belongingness, sources of distress and systematic discrimination. So this is the, I think, visit side. You can visit the site and also fill up the questionnaires. Lastly, in conclusions, because of this is a very sensitive issue, in 1 hour it is very difficult. But I always, this is my poem. Those who have developed suicidal ideations, I think, just we give them okay advice. Okay, why you are sad today? Please smile. Keep smiling. You have to be happy. But those who are sexually abused children and those, I think, having, I think, many other problems, like a phoenix. Phoenix is bird, I think. You must have heard. Every day, burns in fire, and every day, okay, takes rebirth, I think. So, how can I promise you smiles are far miles and miles? How can I smile? What is spring and fragrance of flowers? Every day autumn showers. Rise and fall, fall and rise. Darkness ever, no sunrise. What color means? And nothing to do with breeze. I am bird phoenix. Every moment be finished, burn to ashes. I am bird phoenix. Every moment be finished, burn to ashes. Be alive, but no wishes. So some symptoms also you can identify, or there are some reflections, I think, in this poem. And therapy point of view, this is, I think, I have written. Just don't talk about CBT for normal people, ordinary people. Parents are psychology, teachers are psychology, even they don't have psychological background. Just you have say to your loved one or children or student, "मैं हूं ना, I am there." That is a karuna, compassion. They need your compassion, right? Emotional support. I think this Karuna organization is doing this work. So I congratulate you. I am very happy to know about your institution, NGO. And here, just you have to say, I am there in all your adversity. And this is a validation actually. You have to validate, don't advise them. You validate, yes, I can understand your problem, I can understand your emotions. I am there in all your adversities, enjoy every moment of life. It cannot touch you any fatalities. I am there to kill your death. Now, spirit of parent or supporter, you can see, even death will come, I will kill it. I will kill it. Whatever you have visions, go for achieving all missions. Never sense meaninglessness. I am there to give to your life a lot of reasons. Why fear of being left alone? Around is my love oceans. My positive waves will fill your isolations, not endanger your survival. Your survival is not in danger. I am there to rescue. Feel your existentials. Love immortal is evidence circumstantial. So my love ocean is roaring around you. I am always there with you in your adverse situation, your difficult circumstances. Never get discourage yourself. Okay, I am always there. Just few words, matters a lot, I think. Definitely one word matters a lot even. Okay, that is very important. If you will children's adolescents are very suggestive and sensitive, I think. Okay, they have puberty period, they have to adjust with themselves, many hormonal changes in their body, parental pressure is there, fear of failure is there. Quota is the capital of suicide, I think. Now, 11, 12 students, 12 science students commit suicide. Okay. So all these, will lead to, I think, this type of behavior. So at that time, when they are in need of your emotional psychological support, it should be there. And we have to keep trying. Just one session, one lecture is not enough. Okay, only the therapy is that you give meaning to the person who has developed suicidal ideation. So the time is right for mental health professionals to adopt proactive and leadership roles in suicide prevention and save the lives of thousands of Indians. Especially. Conclusion: suicide is a cry for help. Every step matters. Suicide can be prevented. There is a need for break silence. And lastly, I want to leave, I want to say, okay, what I have discussed earlier. And I think if it is possible, this there is a one song. I think the sound is coming or not, I don't know. But this song from one movie, I like this song. राही ओ राही ओ राही रुक जाना नहीं तू कहीं हार के रुक जाना नहीं तू कहीं हार के कांटों के तले मिलेंगे छाए बाहर के. That means obstacles, hindrances definitely will come in life. Okay, no one life is without problems, without hindrances. Okay, definitely life itself, I think, another name of the problems. So life is mystery, death is definite, life is uncertain, but we have to live each and every moment of our life to the fullest, I think. And as a teacher, even as a human being, okay, definitely we have to keep trying now this type of incidents, and so that we can save many people lives. Otherwise अभी आत्महत्या युग स्टार्ट हो गए हैं. This is the era of suicide. So we people will have to do, I think, collective effort, and that is, I think, World Mental Health fourth components mental health definition is that the person who is able to contribute to the society and community is mentally healthy. So we have to contribute to the society and community, and we are doing, and definitely is very much relevant to this definition of mental health as a human being on the base of unity ground. I think, but definitely we have to do this noble work. I think, or task for a noble cause. And I believe that I believe in previous birth and rebirth. Our good deeds definitely in rebirth we will get the reward. So thank you very much to the organizer and Karuna organization for giving me an opportunity to speak on these topics.